Buff Nation, what's going on? BWB, that's all my bandwagon buffs. What's happening? What's good with y'all? I hope y'all are having a wonderful week. Welcome to Friday. Happy Friday to all of you guys. Guys, you understand that, life can get tough on you, but we thank God that we made it to Friday. We made it to another day. Welcome to TLP Sports Club. You are now watching TLP Sports. I am your host, Harry Billion. We're starting at 12 o'clock today. That's just how the schedule fell today. So we're starting at 12 today. But thank you for joining me, guys. This here episode, we want to talk about what I want to talk a little bit about what this the Cincinnati game really means for Colorado. And then I'm going to talk about, I want to also talk about Shedeur Sanders being in the Heisman conversation. I think it's obvious that he should be in the Heisman conversation. He's not currently in the Heisman conversation, but we want to understand why, as a quarterback, and the numbers that he's putting up compared to other quarterbacks around college football, why he's not in the conversation. We're going to talk about that a little bit as well. And then we're going to talk about the Big 12 standings. And, and then I'm going to have my guys from PFF. We're going to preview Cincinnati versus Colorado by the numbers, what it's looking like. So, without further ado, guys, let's get into the show. You know how this works. It's free for all Friday. On your screen, you'll see jointlplive@gmail.com. Tim Smith, what up? Dallas is in the building. What up with you? jointlplive@gmail.com. You call in whatever topic we are discussing. You can add your voice to the conversation. jointlplive@gmail.com. If you're not joining us today on the show, just write it down anyway. Keep it in your phone, under your notes, so that when next time I come on and you see me come on and you want to call in because something that we're saying is either not the way you feel and you want to add your voice to the conversation, then just email me. I'll send you a link. Every show has a new link, so you have to email me for the new link. And then we join the conversation. The first thing I want to talk about is let's talk about the implications for this game, like what this game really means for Colorado. So we're gonna have PFF help us a little bit with this game, but let me just start it off by letting you guys know that we are 5-2. All right, we are 3-1 in the Big 12 conference, but 5-2. And what this really means is that since Colorado has eclipsed the wins from last year, we are in this is not a precarious situation, but this is a unique situation. Colorado, the young men at Colorado now have an opportunity to, it's not the same young men, but I don't want to, let me just say the way that I'm thinking about it. They have an opportunity to make Coach Prime an honest man, to help Coach Prime, to catapult him to the conversation of a bowl, of a legit coach. Not that he's not legit, but a legit coach in the conversation. Because obviously everybody still look at the bravado, the talk, and they don't really see Coach Prime as, a good coach. Obviously, you know about Paul Farnbaum and what he's saying and other coaches and stuff like that. But now this is the opportunity for us to see it in the Power 12, the Power 12, Power 5. Power 5, now Power 4. Because the Pac-12 is coming back, okay? Next year, I'm sure. But this is the opportunity to put Coach Prime over. We get to push Coach Prime into that bowl conversation. So if you go from 4 wins with all of the Louis talk and everything that we came into Colorado saying, and people were really excited, that didn't happen. Now this is the game that pushes us to game number 6, that magical number 6. So if we get to number 6, then the conversation, all of the crazy talk has to stop immediately. It must stop immediately. And that's because Coach Prime would have now become a winning coach in Power 4. All right? So that would be it. Now you are bowl eligible. The rest of the season is pretty much how you wanted to go. But we want to get Peggy to a bowl game. That was one of the things that Coach Prime said. And now Cincinnati is the only team that stays in our way to get that done. So let's talk about what these young men, like the type of pressure that they need to apply to themselves, because I don't think anything we say has any bearing on what they got to do and how they understand what this game is. So let's talk about that. I'm gonna start off with Phil. Phil, how you doing today, brother? Welcome to the show. Thank you for calling in. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Happy Friday, man. I'm doing well. Got some errands to run in a little bit, but I had a second, so I just wanted to go on and jump on. Well, I knew I
Oh,
could.
for sure,
If
man.
if I could speak to the Colorado football team just for 15 seconds, if you don't mind.
Yes, please speak to the Colorado football team.
Hey, listen, guys. Tomorrow night, Sunday morning, when the game is over with on the East Coast, will be a day that lives in infamy. No longer will Colorado be looked at as the little brother and little sister. Oh, good job. You guys won 6 games. Yay, we're proud of you. We're happy. No, after tomorrow night, that is the expectation.
Uh-huh.
The expectation is that Colorado is going to be a successful and winning football program moving forward under the leadership of Deion LaJuan Sanders, aka Coach Prime.
Uh-huh.
Tomorrow night is the night that changes everything
Yes.
for the University of Colorado. Go out there, stay focused, do your job, and just win. That's all that matters. Just win. Tomorrow night is going to be a night to remember for the University of Colorado because it changes and shifts the conversation behind this team if they go out and win. And if they focus and just do what they've been doing for the majority of the season, I think they'll do that.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad you did that because I felt like that's what I wanted to do also. I just want to send a message to these young men. And I'm sure they understand. I mean, we're not in the locker room. We're not around them. But I'm thinking that Coach Prime knows this, right? I'm thinking that everybody in that locker room understands that this is the opportunity to go to a bowl game. This game right here, all right? We win this game and we're legit. Like we are legitimately a bowl team. So let me send a message also. Young men, Colorado football, Buffaloes. All right, not the Wings, but just Buffaloes. Please hear me out. As an OG, as a big brother, and an old man with gray hair all in my nostrils, on my chin, on my head, hear me out. You guys are you have a great opportunity on Saturday. It's going to be late, 8 o'clock, 8:15 your time. We're going to be like 10 o'clock on the East Coast. But this is the opportunity, guys, for y'all to quiet the noise. This is the opportunity for y'all to do something that most people did not predict for you to do in 2024. You beat Cincinnati, and now that's it. We don't have to wait another week. You should not play. Well, we're 5-2, so we have time. I think it's the Bible that says, do not put off for tomorrow what you can do today. The Bible says that. Do not bank on you being 5-2 and there being time in the season. I need you guys to play like there is no time in the season. Play like this is the last game of the season. And this is your opportunity. If you win, you go to a bowl game. If you don't, you're going home early. I'm praying to God that you play like that. Don't show up relaxed. I know it's a late game and a lot of y'all are going to be tired, but do not play like you're relaxed. Play like there is no more games left. All right? That stench, that craziness that you felt at the last throw when Shedeur made that mistake and threw it to threw it away with the K-State game. That feeling that you felt, because that mistake should have never been, right? So that feeling that you felt like We should have never had put ourselves in this situation. Get that feeling and play like there is no tomorrow. Because like Phil just said, on Sunday morning, we're going to be having a whole new conversation about Colorado being bowl eligible. That is my message to you. Let me bring on my other panel members so we can continue the conversation. See you, fan. How you doing today, man? Thank you for calling in. I appreciate you.
Hey Harry, how you doing? How's everything? Hey
All is
Phil.
well, man. All is well. We started a low 1 hour earlier today. Let me bring on Tim. I want you to send your own little message. So let me bring on Tim, and so he can join the panel, and then we can y'all can get your message off as well. Tim, Dallas is in the building. Welcome to the show, man. I appreciate you. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing well, Harry. How about yourself, sir? To the
All is
rest of
well.
the panel, what's up, CU fan? What's up, Feel So Real?
Tim was good.
I think I took more than 30 seconds, but I run the show. But y'all get 30 seconds each to send a message to Colorado about this game, about the specific how you think this, what you think they should do. You go ahead first, CU fan. Your message to Colorado, to the players of Colorado.
The thing that I can think of is basically I think I've said it before. I played football in high school, and I know it's not to the level of college, but man, I remember those game days, those specific game days where it was so important. My mindset was focused, and the thing I could say is no distractions. Make this the one game that you truly put everything on and be focused, do what you need to, because you're playing a team that doesn't make mistakes. Mistakes will hurt us, especially against a team that doesn't make mistakes. Be focused in the entire game. Don't play show off ball. Play fundamental, solid ball that you're going to show people that you can do that ability to put it on the field without making mistakes.
Copy that, Tim. What is your message to CU to the players?
Um, just keep up that same intensity, that same hunger, that same energy that you left Arizona with, and continue it on moving forward throughout the rest of your season. You guys have had a chance to look at what um, could have done if you would have just continued playing through 4 quarters. You've been through the trials and tribulations, uh, starting from last season up until now. Um, I feel like you guys are doing a wonderful job, and give the haters nothing to talk about come Monday morning.
Mm. So important. So important. This game. So let's scout this game a little bit. Give us let's put some numbers to it. We're gonna have PFF give us a scouting report about the game, what the numbers mean. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't think I've watched a full Cincinnati game this year. All I know is that coming in, just like a lot of teams in the Big 12, they were not ranked that high. They were ranked at the bottom, and we were projected to beat them. But that's not the case at this time because we are record-wise tied. We have the exact same record. We're 5-2. They're 5-2. We are 3-1 in the Big 12. They are 3-1 in the Big 12. And at one point, they were undefeated for a long time. So Cincinnati is not a pushover team. They're a really good team. So let's find out a little bit more about Cincinnati based numbers-wise.
Hey Harry, real quick, can I provide some context to what you were saying about
Yes, sir.
Cincinnati, because I have it pulled up. The preseason poll for the Big 12, Cincinnati was ranked number 14 out of 16. The only two other teams that were worse than them was Houston and Arizona State, and then we got Colorado that was at number 11.
Right.
So these two were technically at the bottom of the conference as far as like preseason ratings.
Right, and it seems like they just took the preseason ratings and just flipped it upside down because
It actually almost kind of looks like that. Seriously though, outside
right,
of like Kansas State kind of being up there and Iowa State being up there. For the most
and,
part,
and
you know
Arizona
they
State, right?
the first should be the last and the last should be the first in this situation. It looks like.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy, and it makes you wonder. I don't know if it's just because there was. I mean, I don't know if the analysis were just totally off, or these analyzers or these commentators just didn't know how to evaluate the talent that was being acquisitioned or acquired, right? I don't know. We knew about Colorado because we saw the pieces. We did our best to say, well, okay, based on this, we think this is going to happen, and we thought that Colorado was probably going to do pretty well. So for them to get it
Here,
as
Harry, here's a
wrong,
question.
yeah, go ahead.
So, for the most part, a lot of people have been getting it wrong based off of the portal acquisitions. I mean, for the longest time, analysts has been getting everything right based off of the high school acquisitions. But since the portal has been going through a lot of stuff, a lot of analysts have not really looked at it as like that's the best way to go. That's the way we're going to do things. And they've been getting a lot of stuff wrong. So I personally think they just don't understand the portal and their acquisitions, and they're getting their analysis wrong.
So I mean, but that speaks to what Prime is trying to do and his philosophy. I think what Prime said was that as far as the portal, you can take a high school student and you can build him up from zero to take him to, like, by the time he becomes a sophomore or junior, this should be at a good place if you build him the correct way. But you know, so the teams that take these high school students are not staying. There's no guarantee that a player is going to stay anymore because of the transfer portal and because of how much money is circulating in college football right now. So I mean, are people? It's not like they don't know the portal, because it's like the portal is not a weird thing. The portal is not a strange thing. It's a funnel for the players that they already knew on other teams. So
Can I throw something in there real quick,
yeah,
Harry?
yeah, please go ahead.
Um, I feel like a lot of other coaches don't understand the formula of the portal recruiting.
But is it the
Uh,
coaches or the analyst? Because
uh,
I feel like the coaches know. They know what's
well,
happening.
some coaches know. Some
Hmm.
coaches, I say some coaches know, but the analysts, I don't feel like they 100, not some. I can't say all, but because some do understand his formula, but a lot of them may not understand his formula of
You talking about
what.
Prime, the 40
Yes,
20 formula? Okay, yeah, yeah.
yes, and it's starting to show. Like CU fan was just talking about, it's showing as clear as day to me personally now exactly what he's doing, how he's going about doing it. Because if you get a four sapiens, a 4 star, that's a good caliber player, right? Or say for instance you get a 3 star.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that you know that 3 star is gonna take him some time to develop to bring him up to college speed. Not all, some,
Right, some.
some. So, but getting a Jordan Seaton or a Juju Lewis that are ranked 5 stars, or if they had a 6 star, you would give them a 6 star like a Jordan Seaton. Certain individuals are is just above the rest of their peers at a high school level. They playing beyond their time. No different than LeBron James was playing ahead of his time, Kobe Bryant,
Right.
Kevin Garnett. So with that being said, it's easier to bring them up to speed. And we see that the proof is in the pudding with Jordan Seaton. He's been starting ever since day one, and he's progressing each and every game and getting better. So in 3 years, boom, he's off to the pros. But that
3
three
years, it
star,
could be two. If he
well, he
depending on how
can't
he
go in
does
two
next
years.
year.
He can't go in 2 years.
Or
He
is it
has to
they
sit
don't do
3.
2 years?
No, it's three
Oh, okay.
years. Yeah, three years and above. So
Okay.
you got a 4 star that maybe need a little bit more time, or may not be getting enough time, playing time, film wise. he may have to sit a year, an extra year, or maybe a fifth year. So I feel like Prime is getting guys that's ready, that he can see, or his coaching staff can see, that are ready to play now with just a little bit of tweaking, and that's not slowing them down to moving on to the NFL if that's the desire that they want to go, and then go get some guys that's already uh uh oiled and
Mm-hmm.
ready to go and hit the field out of the college, that been playing college snaps. But the only downside to that, but it's pros and cons to everything in life,
Right.
but getting them to jail as quickly. That's the only, I say, downfall to that. But other than that, man, that his formula is gonna continue to get him to bowl games, and hopefully beyond bowl games.
All right, so let's bring on
Can,
Ron Tate. We can continue the conversation. If anybody got a follow up, give me a second. Ron Tate, welcome to the channel, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for calling. You know, I always appreciate you calling in. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Hello, panel.
what's good,
What's going
Ron?
on, Ron?
This has been a long walk and a lot of patience. And what I would say to the CU team is, uh, like someone had mentioned before, that you don't hold back, play up to your ability, the training and experience that you've gained, and the future is in your hand. Don't give it to anyone else or leave it to anyone else. Any decision to anyone else. The future is in your hand for the team and yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with Tim 100%. The way Prime has set up using the portal and the recruitment of high school players, I think that people are starting to understand that when you don't have a 4 and 5 star guy to back up your player, then you use the portal to do that. And until Prime gets that rotation up to speed using high school players, he's going to continue to use the portal. I mean, why not? It's successful and it's working.
So I mean, it's I think for the portal argument, I feel like they need to finish with a pretty big number over 500. I don't think 6 is enough. I think for the portal haters, those who just berate the portal idea, I think if they go 8-4, does that make the portal argument better? What number? Let me ask Phil. Phil, what number do you think makes the portal argument more sexy?
So I'm gonna answer that question, but I want to touch on something that I was thinking about when everybody else was talking.
Yeah.
This statement is in regards to the portal as a whole. I think your success with the transfer portal, as well as your traditional means of recruiting through high school, is going to come down to your scouting and your development. Because you can look at a team like Indiana, who is undefeated right now in the Big Ten. They were portal heavy, right? But then you got a team like Florida State, portal heavy. You look at what they're looking like right now. You look at Ole Miss, portal heavy. They're not living up to their expectations based off the beginning of the season. So I think it's more than just the use of the transfer portal. I think it's the importance of hitting who you get, like when they, making sure you hit on your scouting and knowing who you want to bring in, and then your coaching and developing once those guys get there. Now, as far as what a sexy number would be, personally, I don't think the number would be the wins. I think the number is the guys from the transfer portal that then can get into the league, regardless of if it's the first pick in the draft or it's Mr. Irrelevant. He needs to get guys drafted. And when I say drafted, I mean drafted, not undrafted free agents. I'm talking about guys that actually get their name called on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. And I think that's going to be what determines if people really want to come play for Dion, if they can get in the league. Because he said he's about NFL, not NIL. So I think ultimately that's going to be the determining factor.
So okay, so that's a unique answer to the question, but I'm not sure if that's the question I'm looking to answer. I think the question I'm looking to answer is
they need at least 9 wins to get more people, like to have a higher number of higher quality transfers come to Colorado, if that's what you're looking for.
So okay, more so like you know how people talk about the portal, other coaches, and we've done videos on coaches like Pat Narduzzi from Pitt and others saying this is not how you use the portal. That's not what the portal was for. You're just supposed to use the portal for one or two guys. You're not supposed to replace your entire team through the portal. So those who are berating the portal, those who take the portal as a joke and talk about Prime like the portal is something he's not supposed to use. So are you saying that 9 is the number that'll back them off, or
Oh, I thought you were talking about recruits trying to come to Colorado. Like, if you don't like the portal, you just don't like the portal. You look at
right?
somebody
That's
like
what I'm
Dabo
saying.
Sweeney.
So to make the
I,
portal, seem like
I don't
something where
know. That I don't know. I think some people are just, hey, old man, get off my lawn. They're stuck in their ways, and they don't want to use the portal. And guess what? If they want to build their program through traditional means and be successful, they have that option. If they want to do it through traditional means and be a failure, they have that option too. So I don't know if specifically coaches who are already strong-willed as it is are going to be swayed just because Deion Sanders and others are able to have success with the transfer portal.
Hey,
but
can
but
I chime in on that?
just a second. I mean, if something continues to be successful and work, your program is going to force your hand as a head coach because you got coaches who are winning and these high school students start to leave. Guess what? You're going to be stuck on the island by yourself trying to convince some old heads that the portal is not how we build a program. But then the kids that you bring in from high school, after 1 year, if they leave, then now you're stuck because you're like, well, you're going to have to join the conversation as far as the portal talk is concerned. But go ahead, Tim. And
I was I was
hold on, Tim. And for Zulu's question, does anybody know what happened to Yukari Walker and Tyler Johnson? Are they still with the Buffs? Because I haven't heard a word about these
He
two
went
guys.
home, from my understanding, and I don't know much about it other than that he went home, and there hasn't been a like an actual thing that says he's off the team.
Who is he? Which one are you talking about, Walker or Johnson?
Walker.
Okay, so Walker is probably home, and Johnson is kind of like still on the team, but not getting playing time.
I'm about to check the roster right now, Harry, just to see if they've made any updates.
Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, go ahead, Tim.
I was just gonna say that to your questioning. I'll put it to you like this: they already at 5-2. They haven't even secured a bowl game yet, and the caliber of players that are having interest in CU, we talking some of the top 100 recruits. So imagine if they get into the bowl game, just 6 wins, they make a bowl game. CU has a level of sexiness to them that resonate with young athletes. And I feel like once they get into that bowl game, I feel like the floodgates are gonna just run. They're gonna be wide open, and some of those players that's coming from these teams that uh I mean they're not as appealing to as CU. They're gonna come. They're gonna hit that transfer portal. Some of the schools that was supposed to pan out this year and be in that top 12 conversation, uh, and their season isn't going exactly the way that they predicted, they're going to jump in that portal. They're going to hit some people up at CU and say, "Hey, man, y'all got room for me. Y'all got room for me." Not only that, the coaching staff and the recruiting staff there at CU, man, I tip my hat to them because I feel like it doesn't need to be 9 wins or 10 wins. If they get into a bowl game, it's a done deal.
Can I add to that on the portal conversation?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so I know a lot of coaches don't like the portal, and like you said, they're in their way. But something that I maybe I'll metaphorically say this. You know, the evolution of weaponry, guns, and stuff like that. You know, you have guns, single shot guns, and then all of a sudden you have semi-automatic, then automatic, and then just they become so powerful that you got to realize that it takes time to understand that, hey, that gun will not, I'll get beat by that gun, by
Okay, let me
this
just
new
do a
evolved
disclaimer
gun.
for YouTube, please. Just 1 second. This is an analogy, YouTube, so please don't cancel this video for the word
Yeah, it's
gun.
just an analogy.
All right.
I'm not saying condoning guns or anything.
I
It's an
just had to do
analogy.
that for my little
But
$2 I get.
yeah, well, evolution is what I'm saying. My point is there's evolution, and we are at a starting point of evolution of college football. The portal is a point of evolution. And if people want to stay in their old ways and not evolve, then they're going to be left behind. It's just that point in case. They will be left behind, and the old way of thinking will be their own like demise,
Mm.
because the new way of thinking should be embraced, and that is the portal.
So, all right. What is the middle ground? Should we? Is there a magical number for the old heads and the new way of thinking, like the Dion's? Is there a number where they can meet in the middle to say, okay, if you get like 5 or 6 guys, you're good. But if you're getting 30 or 40 guys, then we got to rethink this whole portal situation. Is there a magical number that anybody can think of that would say, okay, this is good?
Hey,
No,
hey,
I think we're more likely to get a salary cap than hey, we can only have so many transfers. And I actually think guys are going to transfer less because of the horror stories that we're seeing from guys getting stuck in the portal or going places and not getting what they promised. So I think the portal numbers could possibly start going down over the next year or two.
Was that Ron Tate that wanted to
yeah,
talk?
yeah. I wanted to look at it a little differently when you were saying where's the middle ground. Um, and I was thinking more along the wins and losses. Where's the middle ground? Where's the proof that this new system is successful? And for CU, I believe one more game would be that above average ground for them. I wouldn't say it would be middle ground. I would say it would be above middle ground for them to have a bowl game. And then the traditionalists would say, the ones that are fair would say, okay, Dion's doing very well. He started with a 1-11 team. He went 4-8, and in his third year, he gets to a bowl game. And you have to tip your hat to him that he did it his way, and he's doing pretty well. 10-2, which I'm still standing on this year, would be an exception. When someone mentioned the floodgates, and that's when I believe that you will have those individuals with 1 or 2 years left wanting a little more attention on their ability, seeking to come to Colorado.
All right, so let's get in a little bit of breaking news here, guys. Breaking news from Hayes Fawcett. Class of 2025 defensive lineman Christian Husson has flipped his commitment from UCF to Colorado, he tells me, for the U3 recruits. The 6'1", 290-pound defensive lineman from Daytona Beach, Florida, have been committed to the Knights since July. It's perfect timing. So do we say
Yeah, I think he was crystal
pun
balled.
intended? What's that?
I'm sorry, I was just saying he was crystal balled from the last time I saw on that flip.
He was crystal balled for UCF, right? So this type of thing, I mean, that we're looking at is something that is indicative of the conversation that we're having, I think, right? Because the better Colorado does, the more the conversation at home, around the dinner table, in the the dining rooms, those conversations will start to change, and the needle will start to move for Colorado, because Colorado, I would say, has erased the clown emojis, right? Because I mean, how long did creators like myself and you guys have been around here? How long did we have to deal with the clown emojis? I was crying
Okay.
for
Can I make an analogy, Harry,
a
on this
month.
right here?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, do you guys remember? I think you call it LFF, the lingerie football league. You guys remember that?
Yeah, it's still going on right now. They got the
Okay.
team up in Atlanta.
Yeah. Okay. So back
Phil
then
would
they
know that.
actually they wore lingerie.
I own that hair. I
They
own
they
it. You know me. I own it.
but the first season
Phil has
they
a secret
had
channel for
was
that league.
lingerie. They actually wore lingerie. They
Uh-huh.
actually, they were out there, playing football in lingerie. So it was very successful, and I'm not going to bring up the facts of why it was successful, but it was very successful. They were using lingerie as a way of like, hey, everybody watch us, look, tantalizing, right? But this year or the following seasons have been, they changed it. They made it to an actual women's football league, but they put it in a way that actually makes money for them in different ways. So I look at it like this, because
Yeah, I
Prime,
want to know where
there was
this is
a
going. Go ahead.
Prime had a lot of things going for him the first year. I mean, look at what they had. I forgot what they called it. They For every turnover they had like the chair. I forgot what the chair was called. And everybody took pictures. But where's the chair out this time? I don't see the chair when it happens. So what I'm saying is they used some form of propaganda the first year, and now they're actually a better team, and the propagandists don't need to be there for it.
I don't know that that's propaganda, because there's a lot of teams that have those things. Like they have these big chains, they have these either chainsaws or whatever they do. Like every team has a thing for when they have big moments. So I don't think that was something
Harry,
that needed to go away, or it was some type of gimmick. I don't think so. It's a football thing, actually. Go ahead. Who was that?
I think his point isn't about specifically the chair. Think about like a TV show. They get you the first 1 or 2 seasons, giving you
Mm-hmm.
all the good stuff, the fun and catch you off guard and keep you on your toes. And
Mm-hmm.
then it just becomes kind of just regular after that. And I think that's kind of the analogy that CU fan is using, like, hey, we're gonna get you in the door with some of this exciting and glitz and glamour and stuff, but once you get here, you're gonna see like we're a real football team. So
Yeah,
I
it was
think
kind of
that's
like
kind of the
that.
point that he's trying to make.
Yeah, that's a better way of explaining it, because that I was trying to aim something like that. But yes, that's a better way of explaining it.
But there's a
Yeah.
back.
Can I
There's a
say something?
yes.
Oh,
1 second. There is a weird pushback on that, because if it's like the XFL the first season, if you use gimmicks to bring people, and then you stop the gimmicks, you can lose a lot of people, because once you become regular, there's nothing to watch here, kind of. So I don't know. I just wanted to just have that pushback. But go ahead, Tim.
okay, I'm just gonna make it real quick. I think that it's not the gimmick so much. Yes, Colorado has a level of sexiness to them,
Mm-hmm.
but what I think it is, the the larger media outlets, they had the ugly emojis going for so long against
Mm-hmm.
CU. Now Coach Prime and the Buffs are winning and showcasing that they are a legitimate football team. Now it's pretty much like they trying to rewrite their words and talking positive about CU. So now with that sexiness, along with major outlets talking about how good CU is and how well the defense is playing and the coaching staffs and Livingston and Sapp. Now those players that may be undecided, now they be like, they saying, well, you know what, Mom, I think I want to go here
Mm-hmm.
versus going there.
But just let me finish my pushback, because I want to make sure that this narrative does not catch fire. I don't think anybody said that, but just in case there was implications, CU was not a gimmick team. CU did not use no gimmick to try to draw nobody to say, oh, look, we're a gimmick. We're going to use gimmick to try to bring you in, but then when you come, we're going to try to play good football. I don't think so. This is what I think. I think Colorado and Coach Prime, they try to they try different things, and I think Coach Prime is still going to do it. When you have a swag about you, I don't think you curb your enthusiasm. You curb your enthusiasm. You can still do you, when the football gets good, then I don't know what happened to the watch. I hope the watch come back. I don't know if they had conversations about curbing the noise or bringing down the gimmicks, trading that in for basic stuff. I don't know, but I cannot tell you that CU was a gimmick team that is now trying to right the ship. That was not what I was watching. I just feel like they were doing what they were doing, but because the wins were not there, it's hard to sustain gimmicky stuff or flashy things when you're not winning. Those things are only allowed. Like Prime is Prime because he was a lockdown corner, or he was. No, I'm not saying he wasn't beat at times. Okay, he was really good at what he was doing. So the dances, the things that he was doing, those things were okay. But if you're not winning, you can't continue to do that until you start to win and become a better program. Then maybe bring back some of the flashy things. But right now, I just want to make sure that conversation does not become a thing where, oh, Coach Prime and his team were a gimmick until they started winning. Now they're a regular team because they earned it.
I agree with you, Harry, because I don't think Coach Prime he tried it very traditionally. He tried it very basically, using what he saw was the best that his team had to offer, and then he had to change and realize that, okay, as part of the entire equation in winning, I need to run.
Mm-hmm.
I need to run the football to help my offense.
Right.
Now, if there was an inkling of daddy ball in him, he realized to help his quarterback, which just happens to be his son, he needed to incorporate running the football, which I now hear that he's doing, and that he's sold on that to make the team more competitive with the upper echelon teams.
Right.
And I think that's the goal. That's where he wants to be. He wants to be dominant. And in order to be dominant, you have to compete with those teams that are in the upper echelon.
So let me add this also, because I think there was a conversation I want to have about Shedeur as a Heisman hopeful. Now, I don't know if y'all noticed, but just like Ryan was just saying, the fact that we forget about numbers, when we forget about numbers, we start playing good football. We're not worried about somebody having specific numbers. Like Shedor's not trying to have a 300 game every game, but we're trying to put together winning football. So Shedeur can, like, he can focus on getting rid of the basic nuances that we've been screaming about. Like, for instance, throwing the ball away when you don't have anything, you don't see anything. You know what I'm saying? Not taking crazy sacks, right? Maybe that has cost him a couple of interceptions, but I'm willing to live with some bad numbers for the sake of winning. I'm not sure if I'm articulating this the right way, or if y'all understand what I'm saying. We forgot about the whole talk of Heisman for Shador, and I feel like even in the preseason we talked about, hey, I think it was Phil and DC or somebody said, hey, Harry, what does having somebody that runs 1,000 yards look like with Shedeur trying to get a Heisman? So now that we're not focused on Shedeur getting a Heisman. Shedor's numbers are going down, but look, we're winning. Anybody?
And he's still in the top of the Big 12 as far as passing is concerned. So it ain't like he ain't getting his numbers. It's
Right.
just providing the team to be a lot more balanced. And I think it's also helping their defense because Colorado's not scoring as quick, nor are they doing 3 and outs. So their defense gets a chance to get a rest, and Livingston can sit down and break down what the other team's offense is doing, so the defense can go out there and get better. So I think them running the ball helps the team as a whole, not just Shedeur.
Right, exactly. And I think we talked about that in the preseason. You
Yes.
know what the numbers were going to look like, and I like the fact that I don't know if they have, but it's just kind of got rid of the whole Heisman talk and, oh, what are my numbers are going to look like? Look, if you're already in the NFL, man, like, stop playing with us. Just play regular football so that we can get to a winning play. Because us out here, we got to deal with the hurt, the pain. We got to answer the questions A lot of them would see what y'all would see stuff on posts and stuff like that, but y'all not dealing with it like we're dealing with it, the fan base. So I like the fact that they're forgetting about this whole Heisman thing and just playing. And look what's happening.
But didn't Shedeur himself say that he doesn't really care about the Heisman? The only person really talking about the Heisman is Travis.
Well,
Yeah,
all of
that's
them
a
said that.
valid point. That's a valid point.
All of them said that. To be fair, Travis has said the same thing. He's not worried about individual accolades. He just wanted his team to win. He only talked about it because somebody asked him. But if you know Travis is not sitting there, oh my gosh, I want to be the Heisman. I think that the conversation comes up, he'll talk about it because he's forced to talk about it. But he stay away from those conversations. If anybody's just joining us, there is some breaking news on here, guys. Breaking news: class of 2025, defensive lineman Christian Hudson has flipped his commitment from UCF to Colorado. He tells me for on 3, the 6'1", 290-pound defensive lineman from Daytona Beach have been committed to the Knights since July. So, according to Shedeur, that's perfect timing. So that's your breaking news. That is your breaking news. Let's bring on the PFF guys. Let's break down this Cincinnati game and let's get some commentary on this. Just a moment, guys. All right, so here we go. What these guys?
We don't have enough room on the desk to put the Colorado Cincinnati, but we are previewing this game. We have to preview this game because this is a massive game. Colorado against Cincinnati at Colorado, 10:15 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. And really, these are two Big 12 teams looking to stay alive in what is a wide open conference right now. According to PFF Power Rankings, there are 5 teams in the Big 12 with at least a 7% chance of winning the conference title. Colorado and Cincinnati are 2 of those 5 teams. And the only other Power 4 conference with that many teams with at least that good of a chance is the SEC. We talked about already is being wide open as well. So the winner of this game stays in the thick of the Big 12 title race, while the loser will likely have a lot more difficulty reaching the title game because the loser of this game will have 2 losses in conference already as well. So this is a really, really big game for the Big 12 title race.
Yeah, I think much like the 2 ACC games we've had, I think this is very much an elimination game. I do. I think right now there's pretty much 6 teams that are at the top with 1 loss or less. And one of these teams is going to drop off that list and they're going to be out of it. I think the top of the Big 12 is extremely competitive, and to have a second conference loss when you still have 2 undefeated teams at the top and BYU and Iowa State would be backbreaking, I would say, to whichever team loses this game. This is by far the biggest game in the Big 12 this week to me. I know BYU's going out to play UCF too. That is a big game, but I expect BYU to take care of business. We'll get into that a little bit later. This is the biggest game in the Big 12 to me this week. I just think you have 2 even teams. Cincinnati's kind of upstart. Colorado continues to get better. It's going to be a fun one.
Absolutely. So, Don, you have the Colorado offense in this game. What should we be looking out for when they have the ball? So,
all right, before we get to the offensive numbers, any personal stats, any personal comments based on what they just said, the implications of this being one of the biggest games in the Big 12. For those of you who are not familiar with the standings, let me just put that on the screen for you, because this is like we're talking about. This is major, guys. This is what we're all fighting for at the end of the day. Colorado to be in the conversation at this point is, I mean, right at this point, man, if you are a Colorado, this is a great time to be a Colorado fan, all right, and a Colorado creator. My numbers are not reflecting it. I don't know, like when we were losing, I got more people. Now we're winning, and I'm like struggling to get 100 subscribers. Like, what's happening? Anyway,
you should let us cuss on the channel. You'll get more followers that way.
I should do what?
Let us cuss. You'll get more followers that way.
Yeah, no, I'll settle with my low numbers for no cussing and let my low. I'm okay. I'm a man of standard.
We can do lingerie football league breakdown.
I was about to say, hey,
blurred out.
I was about to say maybe I should stream the lingerie football and get some more guys in here, but nah, you can't lose yourself while you're trying to get numbers. That's like losing your soul. But here's the numbers, okay? So BYU is 4-0. They're 7-0 overall. Iowa State, and how many got BYU coming like spanking UCF? Like, come on, like UCF had. I don't know. Don't it now have a new quarterback? Anybody?
I'm not sure. I'm not. I haven't been keeping up with UCF after the.
The last time I heard, It was that he got benched for a freshman because of some reason. I don't know the exact reason, and I'm not sure if that's still the case, but we'll see.
That freshman has taken over the quarterback position at UCF. He's starting this week against BYU. I feel like he's playing a lot better than what we saw, what we faced. Um, I'm not real sold on BYU though. On this game, I know they've been playing well. They struggled last week, so I don't know what type of UCF we may see.
Hey, and that UCF guy, the quarterback is actually a sophomore, and he played last week against Iowa State. Now he only had 62 yards passing and 2 interceptions, but he also ran for 154 yards. And they only lost that game to Iowa State by 3 points. So if you have your very first start, as a quarterback against Iowa State, and you can, even though you did terrible passing the ball, you still put your team in a chance to win. That's pretty impressive for him. But I think BYU is a better team, and they'll probably be able to take this dub tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if his confidence grows, exponentially overnight to get him to play a team as. I mean, their defensive line is those are some tall guys. Those guys, and they get after the ball. I saw that one game I saw. I was like, wow. I've seen a couple of games now, and these guys are the truth. BYU is playing really good football. I don't see.
Harry, everybody on BYU's team is older than Shiloh. They should be beating up on these high schoolers.
I mean, older than
But
Shiloh.
BYU, hey Phil, BYU secondary is not as good as Iowa State. So 62 yards passing, I can see that. Now,
Okay.
rushing, now you flip it. Yeah, BYU, they know how to stop the run.
So just looking at BYU schedule real quick before we move the conversation down the line. I don't see any team left to beat them. I think it's
No, they're going undefeated.
Yeah, I don't see Utah is not doing too well, right?
That's a rivalry game though, Harry. So all I'm saying is anything can happen. I'm not saying they will lose, but it's a
Facts.
rivalry game, so I can't just put my foot down and be 8 toes down and say they're gonna be able to get this W.
How long has this rivalry been going on? If this is their natural rivalry?
Phil, was that a
Yeah, both of
shot?
them are in the state of Utah. And so you got the Mormons versus whatever. Well, no, it's both of them are Mormon-based schools, but yeah, they call it the Holy War, I believe, is the name of the rivalry.
Tim, what were you saying?
I said, was Phil taking a shot? He said 8 toes down.
Oh yeah, that was
Hey,
a shot.
you caught it. You caught it.
Yeah.
So we ain't gotta keep on talking about it. Whoever
Okay.
heard it, and we'll keep on moving.
It almost slipped by me, but I heard 8 and I thought for a second, but I was like, okay, let me just try to run this show without getting losing subscribers again. So Kansas is a no show this year. I think they're having in problems. They're having infighting. That's
You
the
don't
only
know what you're gonna get.
That's the
You don't know
only
what you're gonna
explanation
get.
I can get from Kansas is like they're having infighting, because the players that were previewed are good players. So what can be the explanation of them having such a terrible season? It don't make no sense. So, and then Arizona State got a few former Colorado players. I believe State has Wilkerson or Hankerson or whatever his name is, the running back, and he's
No.
doing pretty.
Hankerson went to Georgia State. They got the kid from Houston.
They got a running back.
Alto is at Arizona State.
Alto hasn't seen the ball this year, has he?
He's at Arizona State. I didn't say he's playing. I'm just saying he's at Arizona State. That is a transfer from Colorado that's at Arizona
No,
State.
but they got another one though. They got a couple of Colorado players that's doing pretty well, and I've seen them do good. So there's another running back from Colorado there. Can somebody check that out for me for real quick? And then obviously,
this one at Oregon State that's doing well.
Is it Oregon State I'm thinking about? Is it Hankerson at Oregon State?
Hankerson and I don't know if it was a D lineman or O lineman, that also went to Oregon
Von
State.
Wells. Von Wells, I think. Or Wells, whatever the last name is, I think it's Wells, the lineman that went to
Yeah, it was a
Oregon State.
center.
Okay. All right. So okay, but yeah. So looking at their schedule, Utah, didn't Cincinnati just whoop on Utah like it was nothing? Like Utah is not the same Utah that I previewed in the preseason, and I thought they were very strong. They're not the same Utah that I previewed in the offseason and preseason. And obviously, everybody's surprised with Arizona State. So the new coaches, the Kenny Dillingham, I guess the Coach Prime's frat brothers. It's going to be Kenny Dillingham, Matt Rule, Prime, and I don't know if there's anybody else, but these guys surprisingly are doing well this year. So all those three men have come in and they've actually turned their programs around. Like overnight, almost, it seems like. Because Ken and Dillingham, we whooped up on them like last year, and they were really bad. Now they're in the Big 12 and they're doing very well. Matt Rule, the same thing. I think they're already bowl eligible. Am I mistaken or not? I think
they're not bowl eligible yet. I think they're 4-2 right now.
They can't be 4-2. They already won. They're over 5 games already, so they can't be 4-2.
Are you talking about Nebraska?
Nebraska, yeah.
No. Nebraska lost
to
who did they lose to?
That other team that we talked about that doesn't use the portal, or that remember was it Wisconsin, or what's that team that that's 7-0 that your favorite guy likes?
Nebraska lost to Indiana. Nebraska
yeah.
lost to Indiana and Illinois, so they are 5-2 right now. So they're not bowl eligible yet.
Okay, but they're 5. They won 5 games. They've already matched their win total from last year, and they could be bowl eligible. So I'm just saying those coaches are doing pretty well. So Coach Prime is sitting in good company so far, and I'm sure there's going to be some type of a postseason analysis about how his frat brothers are doing. He mentioned it, so that's the only reason why I'm bringing it up. But this is what it's looking like currently, guys. We're looking at 3-1 K-State, Texas Tech, Cincinnati, and then Colorado. So everybody else is pretty much, I would say, out of contention. All of these guys are still there. You got 5 teams that are still there. And Colorado wins, then Cincinnati goes down. Now we got K-State, Texas Tech, and Iowa and BYU still in contention. Who sees Iowa State or BYU losing? Anybody on the panel?
I mean, there's
Iowa State.
It's a possibility that Iowa State lose to KSU at the end of the season. BYU, I'm not sold on them. I feel like they can slip up and lose 2 games, man. That pressure busts a pipe.
What are you looking at? What are you seeing that gives you that makes that? Is it from the other teams, or because you think they're starting to downward spiral? I don't see any break in their game.
I see a little drop off. They just had a tough match with Oklahoma State. But
Oklahoma State wasn't supposed to be too bad. So they were supposed to show up eventually, right?
I mean, look at Baylor. Baylor showing up too. You don't know who are you gonna get. Remember, I was saying that you don't know which team you're gonna get out of Oklahoma State. You don't know what team you're gonna get out of Baylor.
But isn't that what's so frustrating about this year? Even Colorado, you don't really know which Colorado's going to show up at any given Saturday. I'm more confident about Colorado's chances, and I have more confidence in their play. But this daggone conference is so wide open. It's just crazy. It's hard to make predictions on this. But let's go back.
Hey, Harry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Just real quick to answer your question. Just looking at the schedule, it looks like BYU has the easier path. Their last 5 games of the season.
They do. I see that.
So just to be lazy, but to still answer your question, I'm gonna say BYU has a better chance of winning out, and I think Iowa State is probably gonna lose that last game of the season to Kansas State because I think Kansas State is going to be literally fighting for their life to get into the Big 12 Conference Championship game.
So let me go back to that. Let's further this conversation just a little bit more, guys. All right, so let's look at this again. Let me go back to this. Is there a tie break situation that's coming up? Do y'all see? So it could,
yeah. There could be a tie break situation
between Kansas and Iowa State. If Kansas beat Iowa State, they're both. If Kansas run the table and Iowa State loses to Kansas, now like Phil was just saying, if BYU run the table, I don't see. But BYU also beat Kansas handedly as
But
well.
Tim, if BYU runs the table and is undefeated, they're in. We know that.
You're right.
If Iowa State loses to Kansas State State wins the tiebreaker because they beat Iowa State in the head-to-head matchup. So in that case, it would be Kansas State and BYU to make it to the Big 12 championship game. That's how that tiebreaker would work. Now,
are these
Colorado,
four top teams playing each other anymore?
Iowa State is playing Kansas State at the end of the season. I think Iowa State is playing Texas Tech this weekend.
And
so
they got
some of that is going to get sorted out.
They got Cincinnati as well.
But that may not matter after tomorrow when Colorado beat them. So we don't even have to talk about that.
Well, that doesn't mean that Iowa State still. I mean, that don't mean that Cincinnati is still not going to come to play because now they trying to get into a bowl game.
Right.
True. But as far as the Big 12 is concerned, it won't even matter for Cincinnati at that point.
Correct.
Let me see. Larry Johnson. I don't know, Larry, man. I don't know if BYU is going to have issues with UCF. I just don't know. UCF has fallen off too far for me to believe in them anymore. But the UCF pre-Colorado, you would think you can make that argument. But right now, BYU is way too strong, and right now they have too much experience. Right now, every team has grown. So the undefeated team that is like smelling blood, like, bro, were you not knocking us off? So I don't see where they're gonna digress. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna fall back and be like, oh, let's play down to our competition. I don't see BYU losing this game. There's no way. I don't see it. Unless somebody can convince me and be like, yo, I see a path to victory. There's no way UCF win this game. This is gonna be a blowout.
Hey Harry, I mean, statistically,
Is somebody washing clothes?
Oh no, statistically it should be a like it sound like an outhouse or something. But,
right.
Outhouse. What I was gonna say was statistically, yes. Data wise, BYU should blow UCF out.
Yeah, man.
But we're talking about college students as well. They playing at the bounce house. They got another quarterback. Like Phil said, the kid ran for 150 something yards. So
that don't matter, man. That bouncer gained weight, and he's not the same bouncer at that club, man. I'm telling you that.
Right, exactly. So what I'm saying is do you know the level of pressure to know that you're in a position to win out? Huh?
Is it? Say that again.
Do you know the level of pressure it is on a team?
You think that's going to affect BYU?
Man, I honestly think that. I may sound crazy, but I honestly think that, like,
nah.
You know, I see stuff out of different lens.
No, I get it. I see where you're going with it, but nah. The BYU have grown too confident, and they've gotten stronger. They've won some really major games, and they know how to beat ranked tems. I don't see them getting beat by UCF. It's not in their cards this year. So let's look at a scenario where it comes down to 3 teams, where Cincinnati loses. Now it goes to 4. Is it 4 or 5? Yeah, 4. It'll be Colorado, Texas Tech, K-State. That's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be 5. Right now it's 6. So Colorado has to win out for this for them to be in that. So it's possible we are on a collision course to meet BYU. I don't know about Iowa State. Iowa State, I think they might lose. I don't know about them, but I think they might lose. So, anyways, let's continue with PFF. Colorado is still in the running. So,
Eric, what you're saying is that we basically have to win every game from now.
We do. In order for us
So
to stay
we have to be
in that
10-2.
We have to be 10-2 to be in it. Yeah.
Hey, and also we have to run the table. Not only do we have to run the table, Kansas need to lose, and either BYU or Iowa State need to lose 2 games, which would cause a 3-way tie for one of us to get in. If y'all follow me on that.
But if there's a 3-way tie, we don't get in because K-State would take it.
Yeah, we can't beat that.
Won't.
How?
If K-State loses another game, that means that they have 2 losses in the conference. If Iowa State or BYU loses 2 games, somehow, hold on, let me backtrack that.
Let me put this back on the screen to help you out because I don't see where you seeing it at. What's the path?
Okay, if we run the table, if Iowa State loses to Kansas,
Iowa State loses the current Kansas.
Hold on.
I don't see where you seeing that at.
Let's revisit it. Go ahead, carry on with the show.
Let me I don't.
Let me think about it a little bit because there can be a 3-way tie, but let me process it a little bit better.
Yeah. Because I don't see a path. I guess the bottom 4 teams are on the collision course. The bottom 5 teams are on the collision course with BYU, and maybe Iowa State loses, or maybe we're looking at the 2 teams that are going to be playing each other, and the rest of us are just going to be hoping. Again, Colorado ain't got to play in the title game to prove nothing to us. We go 8-4. We're gearing up to recruit. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at let's recruit. If we can recruit, I think that's a successful season if we can recruit because we play so well.
I think for me, it's not so much a matchup really as I kind of wanted to get into just what this Cincinnati defense is because this is the first time we've had Cincinnati this year, right? And they've been kind of upstart. They're 5-2, and I think it's the same old story with Colorado on offense. If they protect Shedeur and he can make the throws and Travis Hunter's healthy and all that stuff, okay, cool. It's really more about the matchup of like they're playing a different type of defense this week, okay? And Cincinnati's new defensive coordinator Tyson Veit, all right, he came from Iowa State. He was under Matt Campbell for a long time. So he brings that Iowa State kind of unorthodox defense where it's 3 down defensive linemen. You got a nose guard and you got 2-5 techniques and you're dropping 8 in coverage all the time. And it's really a defense meant to prevent big plays and make tackles in space with so many athletes on the field, right? They blitz at the 3rd lowest rate in the entire FBS. They run the most plays.
That's a great thing for us. I just want to make that if they, you know what I'm saying, if they're not a blitzing team, that's good. I'll take my chances with the ball in Shador's hands and athletes on the field that can tackle in space. I'm taking my chances with that, and I will be a grateful man any day. Hey, go ahead, put your guys in space, put them all out there, let them play zone. I'm with that.
In the
Hey guys, I wanted to throw one thing in there. This time of the year, you want to take a look at your own tendencies and the strengths and the weakness of each team that you're playing. Mm-hmm. So we're saying, well, man, they don't blitz. So they go 3 down linemen and 8 men back, and all of a sudden they start doing twists and blitzing. That would break a tendency for Cincinnati. And that's something that I suspect that they're going to do because many teams have had success against CU when they blitz.
Exactly. And I would take this with a grain of salt because teams that have that when you watch the tape and you do your, when you do your research and you're trying to, scout your teams, remember UCF did not expect Colorado to go, 11, right? So teams are not going to be sticking to their script knowing that this about them. This is just information that, hey, that they're not a blitzing team, but they also know that Shedeur, if you get at him, you know what I'm saying, if you pressure him, that offensive line, can cause some, can stop us from doing things. And then if they're good enough in space, and if Shedeur just happened to get away and throw that ball, that could be a game plan for maybe them winning. But we're not gonna, take this like saying, okay, well, this is Bible. They're not. We're not, because we understand. We know that teams make adjustments, and nobody sticks to the script knowing the information or the data on the other team. If you pressure Shedeur, you can win the game. That is like every team's gold. If you pressure Shedeur and you keep him pressured, you can win the game. If you know that, then why would you use your common thing of not blitzing? Because then it's like, what are you doing?
8 players into coverage and only sending 3. So they don't blitz a lot. When they occasionally do, they'll get in cover 1 and try to man up. I don't think I expect them to do that a whole lot in this game with Colorado's weapons. I mean, we talk about Hunter and Wester and Horn and all the guys we always talk about, Will Shepard, right? It's hard for a team like this to go man-to-man. I expect more of the same with the drop 8, and they're going to try to prevent big plays. And I think what they're going to try to do, and usually what this defense kind of asks quarterbacks to do, is go ahead and make those intermediate throws into that second window, those 12 to 18-yard throws. The thing is, though, is they haven't played a guy like Shedeur Sanders yet, right? And I think where Cincinnati runs into problems is guys who can make those throws. And because they're only sending 3 so often, quarterbacks have so much time to move around and improvise. And we know Shedeur can improvise, and he usually looks to improvise to throw. We saw this especially last year in their first couple of games against TCU and Nebraska, where, especially in the Nebraska game, last year when Colorado beat them, they were dropping 8. Shedeur had all the time in the world. They did get a handful of sacks on him because there were plays where they were covering well, but there were too many times where Shedeur had too much time to just find somebody open, especially Travis Hunter, who, they're just telepaths with each other at this point on the move. So I think it's anytime you only send 3 at Shedeur, that's a choice. That's certainly a choice. But that's how this defense works. So I'm really curious if Cincinnati can stay disciplined enough in coverage, okay, especially late in plays and as Shedeur starts to get moving around a little bit. Or, I mean, maybe Dante Corleone can just dominate on the inside so much that a 3-man rush does work against Colorado. But their pass protection has not been awful. It started to look closer to average, right? And only in 5-on-3, they should still win that battle. So I'm just curious where Colorado can attack this Tyson Veit-led defense, this kind of pseudo Iowa State defense that sits back so much and kind of bends and doesn't break. And I think the other thing too, it's a defense that can be vulnerable in the slot. And we saw this a little bit in the Texas Tech game when they gave up 44 points. It helped that they had Taj Brooks. Colorado certainly doesn't have that. But in the slot, I had LeJontay Wester as kind of my most impressive guy last week. I wouldn't be shocked if he had another big game this week.
Definitely.
All right, so let's talk about that. So how do we see Colorado exploiting Cincinnati's sit back, wait, be patient, throw the ball at us if you want? We're going to send 3. And one of those guys are going to get at Shedeur, because we know teams that have sent 2 or 3 and still got Shedeur down. How do we play Cincinnati, guys? CU fan, you can start off first, please.
Yeah, so I think to beat their scheme, I know it's going to sound like a broken record, but run the ball. I mean, let's run the ball, because they're sitting back there like, throw the ball. Well, let's run the ball then. Let's pound it down their throat. They're going to play a 3-man front. Let's run it and show a little different scheme. Get them off their toes. Let them, because they're thinking Shedeur is going to sit back and then, pass the ball. Well, let's show them a different scheme. Whoa, what's that? I haven't seen that scheme before. What do we do? What do we do? That, that's the way I think we could, get them off their balance and, get them more focused on the run. And then that's when Shedeur, dissects them with the pass.
So that's an interesting point that you make there. If you if you got three guys, you're sending three guys. That should be a recipe for a team like a K-State that can run at you. A disaster for a run team. So hopefully they got that in them, because I think it's going to be like enticing or it's going to be enticing to see, oh, they're not coming at me. Right? So that's like a recipe for a big pass or big numbers in the pass game. But if you establish this run early, it could mean a lot of things in the second half for the pass game. What do you think about that, Ron? Excuse me.
I think
Ron, go ahead,
the
Ron.
scheme that I'm going to get on the phone and contact Pat Schumer and tell him, listen, this is something that no one in the United States is going to suspect. Let's run the triple option, first play of the game.
First play, okay. After you do that, then what?
Hey, we continue to do it until they stop it.
So
you can run RPOs off of that. Have some direct snaps to Drillon Miller.
Wait. Before you get into the RPO, don't you have to establish the run first for
Yes.
that RPO to work?
Yes.
So right, because if you establish the run, then RPO can be. We know we can thread them, because now if they're biting for the run, then you pull that ball back when you fake a run. Hopefully Shedeur will remember to sell the run. You pull that ball back, and now somebody might be open because they're biting for the run. So
yeah, once again, they know straight ahead that CU has had some success, and now it comes down to scheming. We run the same plays that we ran as far as running plays, the same running plays that we had the last couple of games, or do we do something different again, like we did the last game? We ran the ball, but we did it in a different way. And I think they need to continue to think about some things like that, put some pressure on the defense through the scheme that the offense possesses. Not only, with the athletic ability of the backs, but running the ball consistently, I think, is going to be the key for CU's success. We can't pass our way to a bowl game or to a 10-2 season. We must have balance.
So Tim, what are the likelihood of Colorado having a 40-60 run scheme? I know that sounds so crazy, but for a team that sits back, doesn't that make sense for you to lean heavy on the run and then start to pull them forward? Once you start to pull them forward, now you got an opportunity to bang bang, right? Oh, Tim disappeared. Let me bring on Panda. Panda, what's up, man? Thank you for calling in. I appreciate you. How you doing today, brother?
I'm just cooling, man.
You said not to trust PFF, but I'm using them for data. I'm using them for information. I'm not saying they're Bible. I'm not saying what they're saying is this is Bible. But you know how we are data show. So once we get the information, then we can decipher how we can break it down how we think it should break down. But that's what we're doing right now. So knowing what we know now about Cincy's defense, they sit back, they're gonna send three, knowing what they're doing, and I think it was what Ron and CU fans saying, "Hey man, run the ball." Do you agree with that, or do you have a different approach to this?
I mean, I just think some people like repeating themselves. CU is a pass-heavy offense. That's just is what it is. I'm not getting caught up in the run. They don't play like that. So to continue to be expecting something that's not coming is kind of weird. We adults at this point. I just think after listening to Shador and listening to Cash on that program they have, I realized that they are building the plays to players. That is a gift and that is a curse. When you start building the plays to players, when that one player not open like Travis or that one player not open like Western, we run into issues. So they build the defense schemes like that. It's not exactly play calling schemes as we are used to that legacy football plans work off of, but we see it worked on the defense side. So we can see where a lot of times it's putting the right person in the ability to make a play. And I think they're trying to do that with the offense. Honestly, at this point, I really can't say much because I think expecting to have an explosive run game is what we know great football teams do, but they have been able to dig out some wins playing the way they play. So
okay, so then what do you prescribe for a defense that sends 3 sits back in the zone and they have athletes to make tackles and they have the same record that we have and they can play? What do you prescribe? How do you say we play them?
I like slants. I like putting the ball on the ground. The option and all that thing is cool, but we not good enough to get into those trick plays yet. Meaning, even we see like Shador was doing this option where he was running and about to toss the ball. Even the way how he was holding it was scary, right?
He was like, "Oh Lord."
Let's be honest, right? So asking them to get super clever, I think, is a little bit irresponsible at this stage. I just want them, just like they did with the run where they had Jordan Seaton. Remember, I was saying, like, yo, put Jordan Seaton, he more athletic of a lineman to run in front with a design run play. You see they implemented that last game? Things like that I'm cool with. Like design run plays that there's no checking out of this. Like, this is the run. I'm going with that. I think those are more interesting things than getting way too more creative with the offense. At this stage, we look at film, we make the adjustments, and put players in the position to make plays.
Tim, you're back. So let's get your thoughts on this. How do you play this Cincinnati defense that PFF just described to us?
You play CU football. I mean,
okay.
You play
status quo? I mean, like when you say CU football with adjustments or status quo?
You make adjustments. You continue to do what you did in the Arizona game. You do what you did against that 3-3-5 defense against Kansas. Cincinnati, just going back looking at some of their highlight games, UCF was able to pass the ball on them. I don't think that Cincinnati is going to play a 3-3-5 against us. They like to play. If they show the formation of a 3-3-5, you better believe that those linebackers are coming. They're not going to drop back in coverage like that because the coach know that if we let Shedeur sit back here rushing 3,
right,
and he has all the time in the world,
you're
not
cooked.
only that, your DBs cannot stay with wide receivers. I don't care what wide receivers are on CU team. You cannot stay with wide receivers for a minute and a half with the type of quarterback that we have in the backfield to get open and that can put it on the dime wherever he needs to place the ball at for the wide receiver to make a play on the ball. Cincinnati is not going to play just rush 3 and let Shador sit back there and bake his cake and sit at the table and eat it. That's not going to happen.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, we got the data. Thank you to PFF, but I don't know that they're going to sit back and relax on Shador. He will thread you to death. Like, he will make you pay for that. It will be 2 touchdowns before the 2-minute mark even show up. Like, I'm talking about the first 2 minutes off the clock. He'll make you pay like he did with that stupid onside kick. Like, I'm still thinking about that. I'm having dreams about that onside kick. Like, why did he do that? I'm self-talking. Like, why the heck did that dude kick that? Like, out of I'll be like in the middle of my day doing something totally out of like no football related, and I'll be like, dang, why did that guy kick an onside kick? Like, what did he think? What did he think about Colorado? Or how lowly did he think about Colorado to do an onside kick on the first kick of the game? Like, anyways, that's did I just say this out loud? I was thinking it, but okay. Oh Lord, let's
And outside of the ball,
Let's see what
it's
the
you mentioned
the-
pass rush for
the
Cincinnati
offense is
not
gonna
really
do.
being there because of how few rushers they send. Other side too, Colorado's pass rush hasn't been great this year, but they had a really good game this past week. Like I said, they're 104th in pass rushing grade this year, 64.7. That all changed against Arizona, who entered that week with the 16th best pass blocking grade in college football. So that should have been a clear advantage for Arizona over Colorado, and it was the opposite because in that game, the Buffaloes sacked Noah Fafita 7 times and pressured him on 52.8% of his dropbacks. If they could be
but okay, so with them saying that, let me make this point too. You know how we take everybody's stats and we give it to them? Do y'all know that we don't take Colorado stats and it's almost like we're too cautious because there are things that Colorado is known for, but things that they're growing for, right? Every team is going to grow, and every team's making adjustments. Colorado is making like mid-season adjustments that's going to scare some people, just like they're talking about. Colorado having 7 sacks. Where did that come from? Where did 7 sacks come from? Anybody know where 7 sacks came from and why we were able to do that to Arizona team?
Yeah, but to
Yeah,
be honest, right? We didn't play a full strength Arizona team, right? But what we were seeing, Coach Sapp was saying that when it started opening up, the game start becoming easy and sacks start coming in bunches, right? But I think overall, even that play that 21 made, like it was designed for him to go at the quarterback off the jump. You see what I'm saying? So the scheme, like I said, they're doing now is putting the players in the best position.
So we don't even call his name no more. Now he's 21. It's not Shiloh no more.
Hey, bro,
Dang.
I'm all down for the
It's
team,
getting
bro.
that bad that we can't even call his name no more.
Man, to be honest, I was the one said, man, let him sit out. But like, homie came back with a vengeance. It's all love. We the fan that blows when it hot. We could admit it. We that fan that blows when it hot. we the
Hey, Harry.
Wait.
Hey.
Let's see you, fan.
Oh,
Get
okay.
his off. Go ahead, see you, fan.
well, one of the reasons that we had success on the sacks is, I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed, but we got Wade. Wade came in and he got 2 sacks. And the way, if you notice on the film, when he's blitzing, he comes in like a rocket. It's that's one of the things that they didn't take account of. I mean, they were used to McCahill Green and Bentley. But
Wait, what happened to
Wade
Billy?
shows
Billy
up.
has disappeared. Or am I not paying enough attention? Or Billy disappeared?
No, he was playing. He's just not.
Yeah, on one of the strip sacks, Bentley was the one that recovered the fumble in the backfield.
Okay.
I don't think y'all realize that they clicking. The team is gelling. Like, I now understand how you cover. You now understand what my strength is. What was happening before, this is just my opinion. It just seemed like they were playing individual football. I'm a good athlete and I'm going to do this. But now it's like I'm playing off for the next guy. So I just think at this stage, they just gelling more. Like all the jitters is out. The scheme's working now. I just think they're in a healthy place where they playing complementary football. And that's how we win. Continuing to play complementary football, not isolating this star with this star, and that's going to help us. Now, it's not because of Hood and them, or not because of what's the name that is getting better. It's the team. They complement each other now, and it's fitting in the right slots.
Well, that should be.
I agree. I mean, that's something that we've been talking about since the beginning, that they needed to get better as a team together.
Right.
But I just wanted to finish. The only thing my concern is Wade is redshirting. And he's only allowed, I believe, 3 more games. So
Wait,
don't.
Wade has only played one game.
Yeah. Remember his
Oh,
ankle.
okay.
He has an ankle injury. He's coming back from an ankle injury, and he said he talked to his coach, and they suggested him to redshirt. So it's a wisdom play. You don't want a kid to lose a whole year eligibility coming back from that injury. He said it first was injured in high school. He re-injured it in college. So it's like Coach Prime already gambled on taking him because they believed in him, and for the coach to say, "Hey, consider redshirt," then he came out and had an excellent game. So he said he was going to go back to the coaches to ask them what's the best way to go.
All right. So see you. Let me let his finish your thought. We gotta move down the road. Go ahead. See you. Finish your thought so we can move on.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that he only has 3 more games left. So my thing is, like, where do we use him for the last 3 games before he redshirts?
So okay, so then this is what I'm hearing. Players that we not so much were analyzing to have big impact are starting to step up and have big impact. So Colorado's DEPTH is actually working to its advantage this year, where we're not having a big drop off in depth, right? When play,
Hey,
go ahead, Tim. I don't know what Panda's ready to flex, but go ahead, Tim.
The
Oh
game,
my gosh, I can't with this guy.
the game against Arizona. Well, there's a quote that their coaches, D-line coaches, like to say. You have to earn the right to rush the passer, right?
Okay.
Okay. Now that they have earned that right by being able to stop the run, even though we had that bad showcase against Kansas State, they've been doing well this season stopping the run.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, they earned the opportunity to rush the passer. Okaloa, BJ Green, we already know what they could do coming from their previous universities.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, we used a lot of stunts against Arizona. So, we seen what they are capable of doing, and I feel like the same thing is gonna transition over into the Cincinnati game. The only two things with the quarterback play is Fafita, he doesn't drop back too far. If you notice, if you go back and watch it, he doesn't drop two steps. He's trying to get the ball out. This quarterback against Cincinnati, he's dropping back four steps. So I wonder if that's gonna cause somewhat of a little conflict, but I feel like we do the same exact thing that we did against Arizona, and it's gonna be a long night for Cincinnati quarterback. Uh, but as far as Wade, yes, he has 3 games left, and if we make it to a bowl game, regardless if he red shirt or not, he's still able to play in that game and still have a full season come next season.
Right. I mean, but as far as red shirt, if they need you, then why red shirt, right? So, anyways, go ahead, Phil.
No,
I just want to make a quick comment about what Tim said about being able to play in the bowl game, even if
Phil,
he's
what's up, man?
redshirting this year. What's going on, Panda? I want to just say that is the only thing that I agree with the NCAA on with a lot of these things they've been doing is letting these kids get a chance to play in the bowl game and not ruin their red shirt. Because so many kids are skipping out on it. So, you know what I'm saying? Why not give that kid a chance that's been getting his teeth kicked in at practice all year? Let him still be able to go out and play in that bowl game and not lose his red shirt. So that's all I want to say on that.
So the idea of the ball game is postseason. It's not like regular season, so you don't lose.
Correct.
Right. Okay. All right. So that's a good point. So I don't know why, but I like looking at this list. Every now and then I just want to scroll and just see her just sitting there. Like, you know how you Google something and then you're looking for your thing and then it comes on like page 10. Like if you Google Colorado, you don't have to scroll too far. I don't know. I'm just flexing right now. Okay, let's go back to the
Be
presentation.
happy, Harry. Be happy. The team is playing good. Look, man, pop your ish out for a little bit, Harry. It's okay.
I'm just telling you,
It's
man.
okay.
Because
It's okay.
it feels so good when you like, when I don't know if it's an ex-girlfriend scenario or when people just tell you you ain't good enough and you ain't nothing and the clown emojis. Have anybody seen any clown emojis lately?
Shouldn't it, but this is a sad part though. Shouldn't it feel better to prove the believers in you right than to prove the haters wrong?
I don't know where you're going with that. Bill.
No.
I'm not sure where you're going with that.
I want to prove.
It's a bigger conversation.
I want the
football,
haters to eat dog doodle. Like I want the haters to suffer. Okay, I'm human. I'm a Christian, but I'm a human. I don't know. I gotta set the Christian down for a second and say, God, punish them.
That's
Why
not
don't
how
you
it
cut
works,
their heads
Harry.
off,
Okay.
please?
That is not how it works, but I got you.
I know, but come on now. Who don't like some vengeance against your hater?
Love thy neighbor, Harry.
I know, but come on now. You can't be human if you sit back and somebody's been getting at you for months and months and months, and you can't say nothing. They have the microphone and they're talking and they're loud and they're laughing emojis. Colorado's this. When you finally get the vindication, man, you just want them to get crushed.
Okay. Breaking
Harry.
news.
Breaking
I got
news.
some breaking news, guys.
Uh-huh.
I just received the APB out for DC Carson. Does anyone see DC? He's on milk cartons. He's on the telephone poles. He's everywhere around here, man. Everybody's looking for him. Where the heck is DC?
But it can't be DC. Listen, DC has already owned up to his he's already owned up to his bad analysis for the Arizona game. But he's been on point saying Colorado was gonna, he's been on point predicting these things. So yeah, he gets it for one game, but we gotta give him the credit.
He wasn't on point with UCF.
He wasn't on point for UCF.
Come on now, Harry. I mean, we want to be
No, but I'm saying like he's been pretty accurate. Like a lot of us have not chosen right either. So we're the same. We're in the same boat.
Harry, I only got one wrong, bro.
A lot of us are on the same boat. We chose Colorado to beat K-State, and Colorado lost. Some of us chose Colorado to beat Nebraska.
Colorado didn't lose against K-State.
Say what?
Colorado didn't lose against K-State.
On that note,
that effective rushing the passer this week, they should have a lot of success against Brennan.
Hey, let's move on. We're not digging into that. Let's move on.
Horsby, because
let's go.
He's performed really well when he's not under pressure. He's his 22nd best grade in the nation when not under pressure, with a 90.2 passing grade. He's far worse when he is under pressure, though. He's a 48.1 passer rating under pressure. That's 80th in college football. So we're talking about a top 25 quarterback when kept clean, and like an 80th, like a below average quarterback when he's under pressure. I will say, though, Cincinnati has been really solid in protecting Brendan Sorsby, which is why they're 5-2 probably right now. They're 35th in pass blocking grade as a team with a 75.8 pass blocking grade. So if they're able to give him time, he should be able to find Cincinnati's talented stable pass catchers. Right now, Cincinnati is 17th in receiving.
All right, so let me say something about the PFF guys, just so y'all know. I use PFF just to get the information, because it's not like On3 that can make up numbers. They kind of give you what it is. They may lean a certain way. I'm just using it for the information, and then the panel, we talk about it. Just so y'all know, this is not math. It's not Bible. It's just information so that we can have the information and give and talk about how this team is going to do.
We don't like your information.
Well, that's fine. You can hate it. You don't have to love it, but the information is the information.
Receiving grade this year. So they have players in that receiving core that Colorado should worry about. But if he's under pressure, then Colorado has a distinct advantage over the Bearcats. But if he's kept clean, then maybe he could kind of keep up a little bit with Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, it's kind of this Bearcats run.
So I don't know if I'm interpreting this as the quarterback for Cincinnati. It's if he's pressured, he becomes he gets rattled. Is that what you heard? What did you hear about this quarterback?
His passing grade goes down when he's on the move. You move him off his spot, then he's more apt to make a mistake throw the ball away, take a sack, or throw an interception.
So
the
Tim,
more
are we
pressure.
stunting? So okay, Ron, are we stunting?
Listen,
Do we stunt them to death?
listen.
That's what I'm saying.
We don't have to stunt. If we can beat,
we don't have to.
You watch. If we can beat those tackles, the first couple of steps, and dip that shoulder, this guy. I don't know how well he moves consistently, but with that pressure coming up the middle, with our D linemen, our tackles, I think we should do fairly well. Coach Prime didn't point out, and the defensive line coach pointed out that they missed 5 sacks last game that they should have had.
Oh wow! Okay.
5 clear sacks that they missed. So I know they're talking about that for a reason, and it has something to do with the Cincinnati quarterback and making him move. If PFF has figured this out, I'm sure Livingston and the defensive staff also realize that we need to make this guy move.
Who remembered that information that company that Prime and them pay for some data? I forgot. There was some information that came out that they have this. They get data from something. I don't remember, but if the information that they're sharing, if Livingston has this, then the best game plan for Livingston for this guy. What is the best game plan for Livingston to employ for this quarterback? Are we rushing a lot, or do we sit back and wait?
Yeah, but the thing about it is every quarterback fumble under pressure, so that's not a unique thing. So what else is the weak point of Cincinnati? Because help me out, Phil, because all quarterbacks will be under pressure.
Well, answer my question before we go to your question.
No, I was passing it to Phil.
Let me not change. Don't change my question, Panda. I'm running the show, not you. Okay, stop playing with me.
Come on, Panda. Answer the question. Answer the question. I'll answer your question. We'll keep this thing moving. I got you.
Yeah. Your answer is quite. One of y'all take my question, and then Panda's question. We can take his too. I want to respect my guest. So, but Panda, don't change my question with another question. Okay? How do we play this guy? What is Livingston going to do to change this guy, to change his direction?
Hey, I like I said, I think they're going to put pressure. They're going to pressure him in the face.
But how? No, I mean like how? Like not necessarily, because we can just talk about the warm and fuzzies, but how do we actually do it?
Hey, look, if you can get to the quarterback without having to send extra rushers, then that's what you'll do. And it seems like the defensive line, especially those ends, have been able to do a good enough job to get to the quarterback. Colorado is leading the Big 12 in sacks so far this season. So clearly they're doing something right. So if I'm Livingston, I'll just rush with my down 3, my down 4 linemen, and then let everybody else get back in coverage. Because I don't think this quarterback is a generational talent that we have to be overly concerned about. So I would just rush my down lineman. If we can get home, great. If we can't, then I'll send the extra lineman. I'll send the extra linebacker, or maybe some exotic, with a safety or a cornerback coming out of the secondary. But yeah, otherwise I just use my lineman.
So basically, one second, Tim. So basically, what I'm hearing is you guys are not afraid of this team on the offense. You're saying we should just play them straight up. That's what I'm hearing, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, you can play them straight up. They don't showcase any or instoke any fear in me whatsoever. They do like to run a quarterback draw when they're in the red zone. I've been noticing that. But overall, like Phil said, I bring my ends flying at a 45-degree angle downhill, and I'll play the run.
At an angle downhill.
Yeah, flying at a 45-degree angle downhill.
Okay.
BJ Green and Okaloa, because you can still play the run off the blitz.
Okay.
So that would be my recipe, just to knock him off course, or bring Silman Craig on a delayed blitz.
CU fan, what you got for me? What is Livingston? What is his best thing? What do you think he's gonna do the most of, and maybe disguise it every now and then? Like maybe he's just gonna consistently do this and disguise it.
I think what he's going to be doing is bringing guys off the edge and stunting off the edge. I think that's the way that they're gonna, because they're gonna be so focused on the edge, and then they're just gonna stunt off the edge and basically come up in the middle and take him down. I honestly think that's the way to take him down, because sometimes you can overprotect a quarterback to a point where people get confused. You know, you're blocking the wrong person. And in this case, that's what I think Livingston would be doing.
Okay, so now I'm seeing Larry Johnson and DeAndre Binion saying that this is a mobile quarterback, but hasn't this been the narrative for like the last couple of teams that we play? Like people saying this guy can run, this guy can run. What is the difference in his running style that we should be concerned? And anybody can answer this, because I don't know. I haven't really watched.
I mean, maybe
Okay,
it's the
so
fact that just that he can run is a threat at the very least that you have to be concerned about. I guess that's their point. But he's not a Lamar Jackson. He's not a Michael Vick. He's not a Avery Johnson or anything like that. But the fact that he can run, the defense has to be concerned, is what I'm hearing.
But okay, like Panda says, is he got legs, right? Is it that he got legs, or that's a special ability? If he just got legs, and everybody got legs, right? You're supposed to be able to run in football.
He ain't no Michael Vick.
So somebody make it make sense. Somebody make it make sense to me, because I'm trying.
There's a lot of people faster than Shedeur, respectfully.
Right, like Shedeur has a concrete feet, okay, cement feet. So we don't look to Shedeur to run. If he has to run and he got an open lane, he's big enough he can hit somebody and drop in the end zone. So that's what we have with Shedeur. But I'm still trying to understand this.
I'm not afraid of his running, though. I'm more afraid if he has vision.
But is it elusive is what I'm trying to get at. Is this an elusive quarterback, or he just got two legs?
Yes, he is an elusive quarterback. He can pick up 8 yards and get a first down. He does. They do run a quarterback draw, regardless of where they at.
Hey, Tim, is he like the BYU quarterback?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He will run.
Okay. If he's like the BYU quarterback, now I understand what y'all are trying to say. Because that BYU quarterback, if I met him in the finals, I will have to do a game plan specifically for him, because that BYU quarterback's a problem.
Tim, I don't think he's a problem like BYU quarterback. I think you're exaggerating a bit.
So who's right and who's wrong?
They play Saturday, so just keep your eyes tuned in, Panda.
Okay, so all right.
Might be too late. We be playing then.
It's gonna be late, so Panda's gonna be tired. So I don't know how well his eyes are gonna work. But anyways, let's keep it moving. Let's listen to more of this, because I think we're right now where we're in the offense. We talked about the defense. We're on the offense now.
Run this balanced ball control thing, so think back.
Is that buzzing from them or from me? That's from them, right?
Back to the Kansas State game, where K-State is ball control, but it's all run game, right? They're running every different run look at you. Cincinnati, they're going to run the ball with Corey Kiner. He's a good back. He breaks a lot of tackles. And Brendan Sorsby really kind of works. He doesn't throw a whole lot of deep balls. He works kind of within this 10 to 15-yard bubble. And I believe right now he is the second highest graded passer in the country on throws under 10 yards. They want to move the chains. They want to control time of possession just a little bit at a time, with the passing game kind of added in too. They play a very workman-like style of offense.
Okay, so Regalo said no. Sorsby is he's good at running the RP. Okay, so I think I understand now. I think, all right, so because this is what most quarterbacks that are at least mobile, maybe he's not an Arch Manning or he's not the BYU quarterback, but if you're doing an RPO, but you need like 5 or 6 yards or 8 yards, if he's that type of quarterback, then I think I understand more of what they're saying. He may not be this crazy elusive quarterback, but if you run an RPO and you fake him out, when you got those edges running in and you break one, you can get pretty good yards. That's what I've been begging Shedeur to do a lot of. Right.
And
this
he's
means on
fat.
defense.
He got speed too. So don't count that out. He's not no Arch Manning where he just Arch Manning got speed too,
Archman
but
got wheels. What you talking
yeah,
about, man?
Arch Manning
Yo,
got wheels, so
you
he can
almost
roll.
lost your credibility
He,
just now.
he's not Dylan Raiola,
Right.
so
That's a good analogy.
he
Hey,
can
but
he
look,
can move.
Wait.
but if he's
Was
good
that a
at the
good thing? Is
RPO,
that a good thing or a bad thing? Because Dylan Raiola is wait, are you
he's saying
considering
he's
him?
faster than Dylan Raiola.
Oh, okay. Because Arch Manning is really fast, so that's what I was using that to say. Arch Manning, if you let him go, he can go.
But what I'm hearing though, if what D Rigello is saying, he's good with the RPO, that means the defense is going to have to play sound defense. Whatever your assignment is, stick to that. So if you're the person coming off the edge and you have to only focus on the quarterback, that is what you need to do. If you're coming off the edge and your only focus is to hit the running back, regardless of if he has the ball handed off to him or not, then that is what you need to do. Don't try to play hero ball. Stick to your assignment, and I think they'll be all right.
Yeah. So I RPO quarterbacks or RPO runners, they kind of scare me a little bit because there is always that open lane that I be praying that Shador will use. Half of the time, he really doesn't use it. I think Raiola did use it a few times on us because all you got to do is just step to the side, not do those big spins to the right. And you can have 5 or 6 yards if you're just willing to do that. So
Hey, I got another point I
Hey,
want to make real
go
quick.
ahead,
yeah,
Phil.
But if they're saying that he does so well, under 10 yards, that sounds to me like the vaunted drag route that used to always play at Colorado, or like slant routes coming off of that RPO. So I'm interested in seeing what route concepts they're going to be using and how and how Livingston uses his linebackers to kind of be over the middle, or is he going to have his corners play up and play a lot more man coverage? I'm interested in seeing what Livingston comes up because it seems like Cincinnati has an interesting offense.
yeah.
Well,
And
I
you
hope it ain't
just
no NDSU, because they were killing us with that.
you
Nah,
just
Tim,
they're a little
let's
bit
go
more
Tim
unique.
first, and then we go CU fan. Tim
No,
first.
I was just gonna say what Phil just said. That's what I was gonna bring up. Like they run a lot of digs, quick slants. Now that eliminates your linebackers from possibly being able to blitz because they may have to drop back in coverage. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
Are we making? I don't think we're making the Texas truth. I don't think we're making him out to be good. I think we're trying to like exhaust all of his, the
Why can't we just talk about strengths and weaknesses
yeah, yeah,
without saying
yeah. That's
Yeah,
all we're
somebody?
that's what I'm
doing.
saying. Every
Like,
week
come
is
on, man, chill out.
somebody. It's all every week is somebody with that same analogy.
Yeah, we're not overly, we're not hyping him. I'm just trying to get an understanding of what we're about to get in this quarterback. Like, is he going to be an NDSU type of quarterback where if they need 5 yards or if they go for it on fourth and 2, they're going to get it because they know they got that quarterback that can do it. That's the understanding I'm trying to get, but I'm not trying to hype him at all. I mean, we've already heard this running quarterback story before. We've heard it 3 times and we've been good. Go ahead, I'll see you, fan.
What I was going to say is, adding to what everybody's saying, is the thing is this team is a balanced team more than many other teams out there. Yes, they have a quarterback that can pass; he's protected, but yes, they have a running game as well. So they're known for controlling the clock. They're known to teams basically do. They fall into the pit. Teams fall into the pit in doing what they do.
Were they ranked
So,
at one point?
not sure.
Hmm.
But what I'm saying is because of that, they're either going to pound it or they're going to throw it or they're going to have their quarterback run, depending on whatever design play it is. So in this case, it's not like us where I think it's 70% chance of throwing the ball, or 90, whichever what game you're playing in. But in this case, it's going to be a lot of Livingston's going to really have to like really understand the situation, because as Tim was saying, they are known for short routes. They get minimal yards and let the ball player get the
Can I ask you
yards.
something, CU fan?
Yes, go ahead.
We haven't played anybody like that before that does the slant throws.
Last year, Panda, we played Colorado State, who ate us up, but that's last year. This year,
But didn't
we haven't really seen it.
K State play some plays like that?
K State ran the ball down our throat. K State,
They
they
didn't
made
do any slot out throws, bro.
everybody done a lot of
But
stance.
that's
I
what
mean, but slants, but
the
the
point
the
the point
volume
I'm
of
trying
it.
to make is that yours say it like if it's something we have never faced. And
Come
all
on,
I'm saying
bro.
is like, hey, we face balanced offense too. So
Ken, I
what
think
is
what we're
making
trying to
us so
talk
hurt,
about is tendencies of the team.
right?
I
Yes.
think that's what we're talking about, the team's tendencies.
Right.
Not that we faced them or haven't faced them, their tendencies versus our
I am
strengths
responding
and
to what he
weaknesses.
said. He said it's they are facing a balanced offense. And all I was asking was, hey, haven't we faced any balanced offense yet? That's a
Yeah,
yes or no
we may
question.
have, but you have to understand what we're talking about is Cincinnati. What does Cincinnati bring to the? Yes,
And
hopefully, no matter what they throw
Ron,
at us,
all I
we'll
asked
be able
is
to take care of it.
based on what he said, we have faced that before. So the question initially was like, okay, in my thought process, we did this already and we came out on top already. So I was just trying to figure out what about Cincinnati is making him feel that way. It's
Because,
conversation.
hey,
It's
Panda,
conversation.
Panda, Panda, let me help you out with this. They are known for moving the chains with a lot of drags and quick slants and running the ball as well. They're balanced all the way around. See, we're known for what? Pass heavy team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the same concept. That's all we talking about. We just looking at what they are known to do to have a chance to win the game.
Right,
But
right.
Vice versa, how
which was
can we
leading me
stop?
which was leading me to my other question that nobody had answered. So outside of that, what counter do we have for the crossing routes or the drags that you all seem concerned about?
That's what we
But then you
talking
hear
about.
me bring up the how I was. That's why I was asking, how is Livingston going to use the linebackers over the middle? Is he going
Right.
to play more
Right.
man coverage? Is he going to, press, bump, and run? Like, what kind of coverage? And it's going to be interesting because they also, if they wanted to, they can try to disguise their defense, make them look like they're going to rush 8. You know what I'm saying, and then drop everybody back. So Livingston has seemed to be willing to make adjustments, not just at halftime, but like in drive adjustments, which to me is a sign of a really good coach. So I don't
So
know how he's going to combat that, but I think what they start off doing when the game there starts is not going to be the same thing they're doing to sustain that success in quarters 2, 3, and 4. I think each quarter will look a little bit different just based off of what he's saying.
Well,
And
based
so
on
also,
so
based on
continuing on from what I was saying, and thank you, Phil and Tim, and Ron. So the
Don't thank
exact same thing is what I'm saying. You know, is the fact that Livingston just basically has to come up, because we have faced, like an example would be K State when we got beat on the wheel route. Those are the things that we've got to be prepared for because of the short passes, and if the short passes, because we'll be so focused on the short passes, then we give up big runs, and that's what Cincinnati is known for. It will beat you on the short passes, and then and if that's not working, we'll beat you on the run. So you're protecting against the short passes so much that we stop focusing on the run so much.
Yeah, but
So
see you see you
hold
fan.
on. Don't stress this out. So this is one thing that I was interested in. Their third down conversions. If that quarterback is a mobile quarterback and he's RPO, he's going to RPO us to death. I hope that Livingston will be ready to answer those questions. I got us for 45-27. We have to be out by 2:10, no later than 2:15. I got us for 45-27. I think Colorado is going to show up because this game has a lot of sentimental meaning. The value of this game is different. I think Cincinnati is going to be the casualty of us, settling our debt from last year. That's why I feel like 45-27 is going to be the score, because the value on this team is this value on this game is different. It is going to be, the meaning is different, and I think Colorado's going to show up in a big way, and it might shock some people, not me and some on this panel, but Colorado's about to put a spanking on these dudes. I want to get your score predictions. We got to get up out of here. CU fan, how do you see it? And you can add some analysis to your score.
I see us winning 42-21. I think it is going to be a spanking, as you called it. I think we're just going to overwhelm them unbelievably to the point where we're just getting sack after turnover, and just completely do some damage to them. I don't think Cincinnati understands the amount of emotion and the amount of integrity that this game really means for Colorado. And I think that Cincinnati is just going to come in and just lose straight up. And we're going to beat them again. I think we're going to beat them defensively, where we're going to put some points on the defensive side. That's what I think.
All right. Seeking God Truth said 56-14. That Texas Truth said 45-20. I got down Love and Liberty said 42-21. That's the same thing you got, CU fan. All right, Panda, how do you have it? You can add analysis to it. Your analysis is like your closing statement, your final thoughts. So we're going to get up out of here when everybody's done. Go ahead, Panda.
Go after Phil.
Huh?
I'm going to go after Phil.
Okay. All right. That's not how I have it lined up. Tim, you're next.
Okay. I just want to say, CU fan, hey man, what you just stated about Cincinnati not really understanding what they are about to embark upon with this team, I agree with you on that 100%. And I got them 38 17, just because I would go higher in the 40s, but I feel like Colorado gonna come out and hit them hit them right between the eyes like they did Arizona, and some of them other guys gonna get the opportunity to play. So I would say 38-17. And I feel like also that quarterback, long as we get pressure on him, he is careless with the ball as well. He'll just throw it up.
All right. So, Phil, we got you next, please.
And these are closing remarks as well as predictions, right?
Yeah. Yes, please add your closing remarks because we got to get up out of here.
Okay. Make sure you tell yourself you love yourself if don't nobody else tell you, and then make sure you tell somebody that you love them, because people need to hear that sometimes. My prediction is going to be 31-27 Colorado. I also think Mata will miss a field goal.
You said 31-27?
Colorado, yeah. And Mata will miss a field goal.
All right. Why you feeling sour on Mata? Why are you doing that to Mata?
It just feels right.
Oh shit!
You asked the question
Tim,
and I answered. What
I know you did answer. I gotta be fair. Tim, what did you say your score was?
38-17.
38. I was listening to what you were saying and I forgot to write it down. All right, okay. Panda, Phil have gone. Your turn, please.
Yeah, Phil threw me off with his today, man. I normally be feeding off. I think he did that purposely, but I'm 30. I'm 34-21.
34-21. Okay.
Yeah. No, actually 34 24.
34-24.
Yeah, we win
Okay.
It sounds like people believe Cincinnati can score. Do you think it's going to be because Colorado is messing up, or Cincinnati is going to earn that touchdown with a nice drive?
I think the first one going to be earned. The last one is going to be we put in the second stream, guys.
Gotcha.
Okay. I mean, you're scaring me a little bit because we really bullish on Colorado now. So that's cool. Ron Tate, what are your thoughts so we can get up out of here?
Hey, Tim took mine, but I'm going to hang with it. 38-17.
38-17.
And I believe that we'll have a defensive score, and our sacks will surpass last game.
So that's 6, right? Or 5.5? Well,
No,
6.
we had
7.
7 sacks last game.
7 sacks
Oh,
last
dang.
game.
Okay. I
So
like
I
it.
think they'll surpass
Stand on it.
and this week, the running backs will go over 150. The running backs, not the entire team, the running backs over 150.
I like that.
Tim,
8 toes down.
Ron, you know something we don't know?
Yes.
You got to tap into the spirit for that one, man.
Yes.
You got to
Yes,
tap
I
in.
do.
It's a simple answer. Yes. So Love and Liberty said he's going to be streaming live from the pep rally tonight and the Buff Walk tomorrow night. Hey, Love and Liberty, send me an email. So when you're doing it, I might just go live and just put it on that so that I'll share that with you. So if you're gonna do that, just let me know. The email's on this jointuplive@gmail. Send me an email when you're gonna do it. So when if I'm not busy, I might just go live and then put that up when you do it. So for you guys, make sure you go to Love and Liberty's channel. And that's one of the channels that I do support here at TLP Sports, as well as Common Sense Buff. He wasn't on today, but that's another channel that I support. So yeah, so send me that info when you live, or just send me a notification or something. Email me, so I might just turn my channel to your channel.
Quick question, Harry.
We carry that, yeah.
When you go live on the others, where you talk about the other deep topics about life and God and all them stuff, the next channel, you don't really go live on it yet?
Oh, I haven't, because I'm making a life change right now. I'm in the midst of a major life change.
Oh.
So I haven't done anything. I've been streaming.
Life change and not gender change, right?
Stop playing with me, Panda.
Oh.
It's a life, not gender change, life change.
The way you said major,
Yeah, I'm making a major life change. So I was going to class, taking classes, and I was studying and doing a lot of different things. But I finally passed my tests, and I'm transitioning into a career I've never done before to pay the bills while I make this channel. I do everything I need to do to help this channel and that other channel the right way, because when you are focused on YouTube checks, you got to do some things that, you know what I'm saying, you got to be very consistent, and you got to sometimes adhere more to the fan base than what you really want to do, because you need to get a check. So sometimes you got to do stuff that you don't necessarily want to do to get a check. So I don't want to depend on YouTube checks right now, because I want this channel to become something that I really like and not something that I hate just because I want to get a YouTube check.
I feel you.
And those YouTube checks are pretty nice, but I don't want to lose my authenticity in the midst of the YouTube check, because that's what my family depends on. If my family doesn't depend on it anymore, then I can really sit back and I can build it the right way. That's why I'm making that life move. And right now it's going pretty well. And speaking of that, that's what I got to go back to. I gotta show up to make that change. So I appreciate y'all joining me today. Thank you so much, guys, for really supporting me. And anybody that catches feelings in the chat or on the panel, guys, it's not, we don't mean it, charge it to our minds, not our hearts, because we're having good football conversations, and sometimes it gets passionate, and people may say things that may rub somebody off the wrong way, or say something in the chat that may sound like, they're hating on you, or they're saying something that you don't like. But this is a great community. I really love this community because we did it the right way, and we're doing it the right way. We demand respect, and if you don't give it, you're out of here. It's just that simple.
Much success on your new venture, bro.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. So, all right, I will. If y'all don't see me, thank you, Wild Dog, for the gift of the membership. Wild Dog is one of our members. I can't wait till he gets back on these panels. Wild Dog, fix your internet, my guy. I don't know what's going on, man. Fix your email. I need you back on these channels. You can't do preseason with TLP and then game we don't get you. I don't know what's going on, Wild Dog, but fix your email, my guy.
Tag. Me and Wild Dog playing tag.
The Ron
Go
Tate.
Yankees, by the way. Go
Look.
Yankees, by the way.
Are you a Yankees fan?
Since day one.
If they win, of course.
Phil, you confusing me.
Of course,
bro.
you're BWB all the
My
way.
mom's from New Jersey. So
Okay, God,
Okay,
how
so
you
salute.
end up there? Like, okay.
Salute. So all right, cool. When they win, of course, if you're a bandwagon buff, then you can be a bandwagon New York Yankee fan, no doubt.
Clearly, Phil.
DC said not one person picked Cincinnati. So, nah.
Hater.
Yeah, we.
Yo.
Yes,
Hey, where's DC?
DC?
Somebody take a
You big
photograph of
hater.
his location.
You big
Where
hater.
is DC?
What he said CO, so I don't know. That's not how you spell Cincinnati. Oh, okay. He changed it. He said, okay, because CO is not Cincinnati. I think it's CIN. Not one person picked Cincy. Interesting. So would you pick Cincy, DC? Would you pick Cincy?
No, he's not going to go 0-3 these past 3 weeks.
Yeah, I don't. DC, you don't want this smoke because you've been getting dragged. So I don't want you to keep getting dragged. But I gotta go, guys. I'll see y'all on the flip side. All right.
Yeah, I'll be blessed.
All right, bro.
All right.
Take care. Be blessed.
Thank you,
See
Harry.
y'all on the stream tomorrow. I appreciate y'all. Peace out.